This is the proving ground where every ounce of grit, determination, and raw power combined for mankind's ultimate display of force. These are the warriors that have risen above the challenge. These men are world champions.
I was able to bring everything I had to the tee every time.
I managed to become the longest in the world.
Every time you win a championship, it changes your life.
It was gone. It was going down the middle of the grid. I just knew I'd put everything I had into it.
I just got locked in, and it was just like I was dropping bombs on the driving range back home.
The REMAX World Long Drive Champion.
This is something I've been dreaming of.
Something I'm very proud of.
I just look forward to trying to do it again.
It's hard to beat long driving.
Welcome to Mesquite, Nevada, and the 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Championship. Hi, everybody. Along with former two-time national champ Art Sellinger, I'm Roger Twibel. It's great to be with you and great to be back to watch these long hitters. Art, this year you've got an expanded field, and we've got the semifinals under the lights for the first time.
We started with 128. Now we're down to the final 12, and you know, Roger, rightfully so on this stage.
And of those 12, 9 are rookies.
They are 9 first-timers. That's a tribute to the grassroots system of REMAX Long Drive, but you do have 3 veterans in there, and the 2, Carl Wolter, David Mobley, ranked number 1 and 2 in the world.
All right, let's talk about the conditions. A lot of rain here earlier in the week in Mesquite, Nevada. How's that going to affect the grid tonight?
Well, they had more rain this week than they've had in the last 2 years, and it's soft out there. It's a carry contest. Who can take it down that grid in the air tonight the farthest is going to win it.
Any of the players of those 12 that these conditions would favor?
You know, I look back to that shot in 2002 with Carl Wolter. He flew the ball 380 yards plus on this grid, and tonight he's got to be the favorite with that high launch condition he has.
And Wolter let you know that it was a great one. How about that emotion? Well, if you're new to the sport, here are the rules. Players hit 6 consecutive drives. The best of the 6 is the mark, and all equipment conforms to USGA standards.
At the LDA, the clubs are measured vertically. It's about equivalent 50 inches in USGA.
Well, Art, we mentioned the conditions. This is earlier when the helicopter was called in to dry the grid after record rainfall, and Art, it's still slow and wet.
We could have used 4 choppers. I don't think that would have helped, Roger, but it's definitely going to be a slow night.
Well, first up, the Open Division semifinals. And from Group A, 6 players for 3 spots in the finals. And it starts with Tom Roscoe's 5th drive. Swing number 5 for Roscoe. And he is looking straight down the middle after that one. Always a good sign. He took a couple of steps after the swing, sort of making sure that it was on a good line. Hugging that right-hand side, but it was a little high. Yeah, just past 340, so at 341.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the tee the number 1 ranked long driver in the world and the 2002 REMAX World Long Drive Champion, Carl Wolter.
The number 1 ranked player in the world looking to hit the grid after his first drive went out of bounds. That just past 340.
Right, and that's probably two grooves too low right there.
On drive number 3, he found the proper groove. Go! He likes that one.
You remember the last time he screamed like that?
Yelled go, and the ball listened to him.
Good die.
And past 370 there,
Big
Carl
ball.
Wolter. Relative newcomer Jeff Swihart looking to advance to the finals with his 5th drive. 358 posted, 374 is the long one, and I think Jeff Swihart might like this one.
Oh,
past
big
360,
ball.
past 370. With 3 left to hit in this group, one of the most intense competitors, John Downey. His first 2 have not found the grid. Swing number 3. Looking down that right side. Set up in a closed stance this time, and hammers that high and to the right. Will it stay on the grid? It's drifting off.
It's
and
in.
It does stay in, and just short of 360.
Roger, Danny Lorette had one of the best seasons on tour this year. Only an appearance in the World Finals would make it even better. Yeah, he liked that
Seemingly,
right
he
there.
has done something on his 6th and final swing. It is right down the middle at the REMAX balloon and out near 360.
That takes it past those two 357s. That was a big ball right there.
With one to hit, Lorette was on the bubble and Pat Maloney hoping to burst it. 6th and final swing. And that is
hit.
down the right hand. My goodness, look how high that is, Art.
That is into the Mesquite.
I mean, that has got some elevation on it.
Look where this will carry, Roger.
And how about this one for Pat Maloney?
That took care of business.
Yeah, that took care of all the business.
No measurement needed right there.
That
Welcome
drive
to the
is
final.
good for your business.
That's right.
366. Well, time to look at the numbers for Group A in the semis. Carl Wolter, Jeff Swihart, Pat Maloney all advanced to the finals.
You know, Lorette just had a beautiful night tonight. Filled it up, but just came up 8 short.
And when we return, the legend of the sport, 4-time world champion Jason Zubak attempts to make it back to the finals.
Slight fade, headed to the right side of the grid. He's pumped up about it.
The 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Championship is brought to you by REMAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Pinnacle, distance doesn't have to be hard. IBC Premium Sodas, IBC Bottles Memories.
Earlier tonight, the crowd was treated to a flyover by a pair of F-16 fighter jets.
And with 3 spots in the finals still up for grabs, a perennial staple in the finals, David Mobley began Group B. Set to go for our second semifinal group, and David Mobley getting the headphones position. First swing for Mobley, and that's, boy, I'll tell you, he turned that thing over nicely.
Great flight right there,
Yeah.
perfect hit.
Past 350, and a very good start right there for David Mobley, 355. Turning that over once again from right to left. Well, I'll tell you, beautiful ball flight right there.
Oh, this guy's a player. He played a lot of nationwide events. He's played, you know, a lot of competitive golf, and he's just trying to play golf and get a little bit more club head speed.
On drive 5, Mobley accelerated that club head speed. That's a much better swing, and I'll tell you what, that has got some hit on it right there. Turning over from right to left, just moving to the left side of that REMAX balloon and past 360.
361, the official mark.
Next up, Brad Pemberton. Now swing number 5.
There it is.
Got that one high.
That will be farther than the last one for sure.
Let's see how deep it goes. Right at 350. Well, Art, next to hit the king of the sport, Golfzilla, 4-time world champion Jason Zubak.
There is his little rehearsal. He's folding the club on his shoulder. That is the key to his launch.
Swing 1 for Jason Zubak, and that is launched right center, drifting close to the right side, but now it's coming back a little bit. And it does stay on the grid. That one is turning toward the right, and it is going to miss the grid. 326 yards, not enough for Jason, but still a good showing, with Greg Martinson up next. Al Martinson, this is 3rd drive in the semis.
Good extension there, Roger.
It's heading down the right-hand side, turning back towards the grid, and he paces nervously.
Oh, it's a game of inches right now. 354, the official mark, puts him in 2nd. And that's the number Jeff Farley needed to reach the finals.
And then look at this on swing. How about this swing? Farley sending it past 360, and that'll take care of your business.
Welcome to the finals, Jeff Farley.
The last hitter was Tim Hanley, and 354 was the number needed. That is hit right there. That is left center. It's high and it's deep. And let's see if he's got the number.
Well,
he's got the number past 370.
Big. Just like Maloney in the other semifinal. Took it right past all of them. It's great having the hammer.
So the stage is set for the finals. Tim Hanley, Jeff Farley, and David Mobley round out the field.
You know, Mobley hitting at 361 didn't think he was going to get in, but he makes the finals.
And a quick look at the others who did not make it all the way.
Well, there's George Slupski, perennial favorite, and Brian Pavlet, his first loss in the quarterfinals. Jerry James, last year's runner-up. There's Andy Davis, who led our Q school this year. Very disappointed to see Vince Howell and Vince Ciarlini hit the ball out of play in the quarters.
Well, it's one of the strongest finals fields, and while the competitors make final adjustments at the range, it's time now to help you hit it longer with the Golf Tips Magazine Power Tip. And our own Art Sellinger shows you how.
For over 10 years, I've written articles, and they've all dealt with club head speed. That's what's going to make your golf ball go far. I mean, listen to the noise right here. Where does that come from? You know, it comes from the forearms to the wrists and the hands. And this device right here, the Mojo, is the best device I've ever seen to build strength in the most important part of your body, from the forearms down to the wrist. Let me show you a couple drills that I do with it. First one's the full swing drill. And as the weight drops through the hitting area, I love feeling that release because I play so much golf with so many amateurs that hit the ball with the side of their hand. Here's what I mean by that. They're in the impact zone right here, pulling. They're not letting the head of the club fall and pick up speed like this right there. Another great drill I like is really isolating the forearm and working on the wrist and the forearm right here, doing that drill. These are the areas of the body you need to work on. This is the best device I've seen for that. And again, your club head speed for distance is going to come from the elbow down to the wrist. So work on those things and hit that ball far.
If you like more tips to improve your game, call Golf Tips Magazine for a subscription now. For long drivers age 17 and under, the junior division offers some stiff competition, but you'd never be able to guess their age with the numbers these kids put up. This year, girls and boys as young as 10 battled it out to be the world's longest long driver in their age group.
I'm a rock chick.
The junior girls division A, Caitlin Allen and Lisa Joyce, the defending champion, took to the tee first. Joyce, the daughter of long drive legend Marty Joyce, gave it her all. But the cross-handed gripper from Canada set the mark high at 260 yards. Brooke Stewart made it to the finals last year as well, but even with all her experience, she still fell short at 236 yards. The older girls in Division B also faced tough competition. Carolyn Shaner posted her best at 228 yards, only to be blasted out by Mary Beth McKenna's 253-yard drive. J.R. Lang gave it her best, coming in just 3 yards shy at 250. The girls cleared the way for the Junior Boys Division A, and none of the four finalists let the pressure of this world stage intimidate them. Ron May bested his qualifying drive by 17 yards, blasting a huge ball to the 283-yard mark. Drew Garzilla and Trent Smith gave it their all but couldn't match May, so with one last chance, Clark Gates George stepped up to the tee, and it didn't take long for him to crank one 288 yards and take home the title. After a long day of qualifying, the Division B boys were ready for the big show, and show they did. All 5 finalists blasted balls over 300 yards. Joey Ramonda, last year's Division A champ, put up an early mark of 336 yards, and the crowd loved it.
Oh, got a shot there.
But Jamie Sedlowski wasted no time, edging out Ramonda with a 343-yard drive. Before it was said and done, last year's Division A runner-up Justin James had something to prove. He saw Sedlowski's 343-yard mark and raised him to 352 yards. Winning the Crystal and a Cobra driver, the cream of the crop of young long drivers came out to shine and proved once again the future of long drivers is in good hands. Notice the names: Clark, Justin, Caitlin, and Mary Beth are sure to be heard from in the future as well. Just ahead, the Senior Division Finals. Can the Cinderella story of last year's champ Eric Jones continue? Mesquite, Nevada, a growing resort and vacation destination, is a quaint city with all the charm of the American Southwest. Nestled in the picturesque Virgin River Valley, Mesquite has all the comforts of a small-town community. Family activities abound, from enjoying the great outdoors to Little League and bowling. And Mesquite has more to offer than breathtaking views. The desert destination also boasts some big city attractions. 4 premier resorts are home to world-class gaming casinos, beautiful and challenging golf courses, fine dining, and fun for all ages. Mesquite has something for everyone. Well, the Open Division is minutes away, but next up, the over 45 sect. That would be the Senior Division. A veteran-laden field of 6 made it to the finals, and first on the tee, Frank Miller. And lets that first one go down the right-hand side, very high and drifting off the grid. How important is it, if at all, to get the first one on the grid regardless of what the distance is?
I had a saying when I competed, when I was doing very well from 86 to 93, first one's in, first one's in. It's all, when I woke up in the morning of the finals, that's all I said, first one's in. And I did it 5 out of 7 times. You've got to do it.
How about getting the second one in?
That's good too, but when I did it, we only had 4 balls.
Look at this shot by Frank Miller, and past 340. Well, from Covina, California, the clubhead is a King Cobra, 49 inches in length, and the 1990 National Long Drive champion.
You know, when Frank is trying to taste victory again, and being a senior gives him a great chance.
And that one's going down the right side, and that looks pretty good. It's going to stay on the grid, turning back in. And Miller thinks it was a good one.
Oh, yeah. No spin
he
there.
Is right about that. Nearly out to 360.
You know, take a look at the narrow stance here for Frank. And what happens is the golf club at the top of the backswing is resting almost on the shoulder right there. Causes him to get jammed a little in impact. I think he left just a little on the table.
Now for Miller, his best hit so far, 358. Sixth and final swing, and that is going to go well to the right. So Frank Miller posts a drive of 358 yards on swing number 3.
Frankie, you're first out of the box. Didn't look like you quite caught it. How do you feel about how you hit, and how about leading off tonight?
It's tough to lead off, but I felt good. I warmed up properly. I got here real early. I hit a pretty good ball. I spun it a little bit, but got 4 or 5 great hitters behind me that are going to bring it. I know that.
You feel like it's a number that'll hold?
I would have loved to hit 70, but like I said, a Hall of Famer, 2 of them behind me. What can I do? I did the best I could.
You've hit it great all week. Big hand right here, folks. Frank Miller.
Well, next on the tee, Greg Basom out of Dundee, Florida, earned his first time in the finals.
Yeah, another senior rookie, just 45, just waiting for this division.
Well, nerves might be playing a factor here, as yet to find the grid. Fifth swing, and now that heads down the right side, turning back toward the middle. And let's see how far this one is past 340. So he's got 1 on the grid, and he has 1 remaining.
And that's a big ball out there by Miller. I mean, he hit that ball. Miller's ball at 358 yards is huge right now.
342 for Greg Basom on swing number 5. It is a cool night in Mesquite, Nevada. Little or no wind.
Yeah, it's approaching 60 degrees, probably in the 50s now.
Sixth and final swing, and he hit that one. And let's see if he's got enough on it. Basom looking after it anxiously as it goes past 340, but very similar to his last shot. And next on the tee, the reigning senior division champion, Eric Jones.
This guy's got some golf swing, Roger. Watch this balance. Eric teaches golf, has a lot of knowledge about the swing. And his key is using the legs to push off, kind of like a thrust. He loads and really uses the legs. So you watch this golf swing right here. The right leg will brace, and then watch it push off. He really springboards off those feet.
Second swing there, and that's a good one. Nice golf swing. That's turning from right to left to the left center of the grid. Past 340 and right short of 350.
And who could forget last year's finals? Eric stepped up to the tee and won the title over Kurt Moore with a 380-plus yard drive.
And aren't really perfect conditions for his golf swing last year.
He hits a tight, low penetrating draw. There's the hop. There's the roll. About 32 yards a roll.
Going, still going.
Needed 380 and beat Kurt Moore by a yard.
Well, much different conditions this year in Mesquite.
Yeah, already needs to fly at 360 plus to win this one.
That was fourth swing. Sends that down the right side, turning back in toward the middle. A beautiful ball flight right there, and past 350.
Roger, take a closer look at this golf swing and watch the change of direction right from the top right there. Watch how he goes forward. I like, as you'll see on his finish, how he carries his right shoulder high and level, and that's what produces that penetrating ball flight.
And that went left.
That's ball position related there, I think.
Good call. So, Eric Jones, 354. With half the field in the books, Frank Miller is the man with the lead at 358 yards with this wet grid. The meat of the order still left to hit, but before that, let's go down to Dan Beaver.
I am here with a very special guest, Senior Vice President of REMAX International, Mike Reagan. So very instrumental. I might add the newest member of the Long Drivers of America Hall of Fame. Mike, tell us about REMAX's involvement over the last 10 years.
Dan, you know, it really has been a dream come true. I think from a competitor point of view, they're hitting on a stage that's recognized around the world as the World Long Drive Competition. From a REMAX point of view, thousands of REMAX associates have supported this over the years, and it's really grown. You know, when Art came up with this dream in '95 and approached REMAX, he said, you know, I'd like to do a few events around the country and maybe we'll get on television. Here we are 10 years later, over 20,000 competitors in 15 countries around the world, and who would have imagined? And look at this crowd tonight. It really is a world-class event.
Looking forward to the future. plans for REMAX International in the future? Can you give us some thoughts in that direction?
Well, absolutely. And, of course, we're proud that our name has been on this sport for 10 years. And, it's rare in sports to have a consistent sponsor. And we've had great sponsors with us across the board, but to have a consistent title, REMAX World Long Drive, for 10 years is a wonderful accomplishment, I think. But we're proud to announce that it will be the REMAX World Long Drive for at least the next 5 years. So that takes us through 2009, and I think the sport will just continue to grow.
Mike Reagan, we are so grateful for you and REMAX International. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us.
You know, the REMAX balloon has flown high in 20-plus countries all around the world, and it's just amazing what they have done for the sport of long driving.
Well, let's get back to the action now. And Kurt Moore comes to the tee from Ogden, Utah. Kurt was last year's runner-up.
This guy's been competing since 1986 when I won my first championship. What a huge arc he has in his golf swing.
Left center of the teen area, hits that down the right-hand side, turning it back to the middle. Boy, that was a good golf swing to start things off with. Big draw right there, and about 1 foot of roll. Well, Kurt had to work to get here. In the semis, it came down to a 3-ball playoff with John Tutty, and it was this drive art of 337 yards that clinched it for him.
You know, he's clutch. He's got such a repeatable action in his golf swing. Hits his tight draw, and that put him in the finals right there.
Now Moore, his third swing. Stayed
good shot there.
Stayed behind it, and it's up the right center. A beautiful flight right there on that shot. And just short of 340.
Look at the big man swing right here. The only flaw is he gets a little ahead of it right there. A little bit too much weight on the left side. I'd love to see more weight on the right so that he can be more behind it.
Time winding down here for Moore.
He's down inside 10 seconds, but watch how quick he'll get this ball off. He knows what he's doing.
2 seconds left, he hits it. And he hits it down the middle, but it looks like it's going to be well short of that 358 number. Yeah, just out of 320. The fifth participant in the senior division is Hall of Fame member Bobby Wilson, a legend in the sport who's accomplished everything except a world title.
Won 9 LDA Tour events, but this is the one he wants.
Swing number 2 upcoming. And that's hit down the right center of the grid.
Good start, good start.
Turning back in ever so slightly. And past 340. Well done there by Bobby Wilson on swing number 2. That one's going to go to the right.
That was hit, though. I'm telling you, that was hit.
Trying to turn back.
Watch this ball. That was hit.
Trying to come back right on the right edge of the grid. It stays in, and it's short of 350. So 344 on swing number 3 for Bobby Wilson.
Take a closer look at this golf swing here. Bobby loves to hit against his left side, and the force, unbelievable width there at the top, but the force of the hit brings him off the ground, both heels off the ground at impact for Bobby Wilson.
Well, even though those heels are off the ground, Art, I mean, look at that. Head back behind the ball, great extension.
Yeah, wonderful move through the ball, great athlete.
And Bobby Wilson with his 5th swing, under a minute left in this set. Got that one. That's high, and let's see how much carry he's got on it. It is right down the middle. 360, new leader. Bobby Wilson, right on the number.
That is a huge fly right now.
How about that? Make no mistake about it, right on the line.
Perfect launch conditions, high launch, no spin, flew it 359 plus yards in the air.
So Bobby Wilson with one more swing and one more competitor left after him. He is in the lead right now. And he hits that one.
Yeah.
And could
this might be longer. Good night, nurse.
Also right down the middle. And will it roll past 360? Look at that. How about those two?
Put a blanket over him, Roger.
Put a napkin over him.
You've been here a long, long, long time. Is this your year?
I got one Hall of Famer behind me. We talked about this earlier. He's got a couple of titles. I don't know if there's any sympathy in his bag or not, but I love Mike Gorton to death. I want to thank REMAX, but the one thing I got to say is a little bit of talent and some great equipment, and you can be here. And I tell you what, Cobra and Pinnacle have done a fantastic job of building me the right stuff. And I just, you know what, that's a good ball for me. And if I get beat, he was a better man tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Wilson, the new leader.
Well, Mike Gordon has been in this position before, and he's delivered as a two-time champion. Swing number 1. Down the left-hand side. Going to be close to staying on the grid. And it will. So 329 on the first swing for Mike Gordon. And swing number 2, that's down the left center. Drifting off to the left just a bit. And once again, 335, not getting any roll at all due to these soft conditions after the rain earlier in the week.
Mike, a 30-year competitor in the sport, using the Alpha driver with an AccuFlex shaft.
Last swing for Hall of Famer Mike Gordon. He needs to go past 360. Hit it to the right, and it is going to be off. Stays on at 320, so Bobby Wilson wins the REMAX World Long Drive Championship Senior Division.
Always a bridesmaid, 4-time runner-up in the Nationals and a runner-up in this championship. It's an amazing win for Bobby.
Well, Art, it's a great story, and you know what? He knew it when he hit it.
I got to thank the Lord above that got me here and my family. And to Julie, my wife, I'm bringing home some glass, and I tell you what, I just sat there and I said, I got to reach back and get a little bit more, and all the timing came, and I beat the guys with my best shot.
Oh, Bobby Wilson wins the senior division, followed by Miller and Jones.
Fantastic final right there with Basin, Moore, and Gordon rounding out the bottom. Charlie Thomas came so close, Roger. I mean, just a few yards from making the finals.
We'll be back to Mesquite in just a moment. The 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Championship is brought to you by Club Glove, used by more touring professionals than any other product in golf. Cobra Golf, makers of the longest drivers in the world. Americo Financial Life and Annuity Insurance Company, one vision, one future. Earlier, it was the Super Seniors who got things started by storming the tee as they proved to the youngsters they still have game. Doug Miller started off the finals posting 288 yards on his last drive.
Good carry right here for Doug, making his first final.
Fred Hooter was up next and set the bar high. The reigning Super Senior champion let everyone know just how golden he is. On his last drive, he blasted one down the middle, bouncing it to 327 yards. The next 4 finalists had their work cut out for them. Obie Anderson followed up Fred and knew he hit it solid. He found the grid on his first 4 drives, the last of which being his best, just over 318 yards. Michael Hooper and Cliff Thrasher, 2 longtime long drivers, both came close. Hooper connecting on his final drive, blasting one 309 yards.
3-time champion in the senior division. Great to still see him hitting the ball.
But Thrasher, and don't you like that name, up the ante, crushing one 312 yards on his 5th try. They still couldn't catch Hooter. And despite his best efforts, Rick Scott only kept one on the grid at 281, giving Fred Hooter his 2nd Super Senior title in a row.
I tell you, that was exciting, and I am just blessed to be here, and it's It's a great event. It gets better every year. I'm feeling real good right now.
Well, Hooter goes back-to-back and gets $8,000 for his efforts. Congratulations to Fred Hooter.
And there's Obie Anderson again, taking second. He's going to be ready to win this championship one day.
Also held earlier, the women's division with one of the strongest fields ever assembled. 5 world-class lady long drivers put on quite a show.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your 5 finalists.
World champ Lee Brandon kicked it off.
I'm number 1 out of the chute. My goal, typically when I'm number 1 out of the post, is just to set the number as high as possible. If I do my job and I step up and I stay committed to each ball, it could be fun.
There's no doubt she had fun as she posted an ice ball at 277 yards. Up next, Sally D.
I think all the girls in the finals are great competitors. It's going to be a matter of who gets a better bounce in the grid. I feel good. Not overconfident, though. I learned last year never to be that. Just respect your competitors and try your best, and that's all you can do.
This is her 6th and final swing. And that's a good one right there. That is heading up the right center. And a little bit of a draw on it past 280, going up towards about 287, 288.
Next on the tee.
There's no advantage at all. I'm just glad I'm top 5. I could be hitting first or last right now.
Robin Lyons. Big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
But hitting thirds gives me a great time to see what's going to happen, how the grid's going to work, and let my ability to take over.
That's going down the right side. She thinks it's got a chance if it turns back in.
A little over 280.
So 280 for Robin Lyons. Lyons couldn't get it done, leaving it to the defending champ.
Help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, last year's champion, Nancy Abby Kunis.
In the finals, I'm certainly not the strongest person. I have a pretty deep golf background, so I rely more on my swing than my strength.
But Abby Kunis couldn't find her swing. 5 or 6 drives veered out of bounds, and her best came up short.
And very short, just short of 240 there. The final competitor stepped up to the tee with years of experience on her side.
2-time REMAX World Long Drive Champion, Stacy Shinnick.
I'm hoping that something will kick in where I can just feel comfortable up there and my swing is good because of the experience that I've had. Just stay calm.
Shinnick was calm enough to find the grid on 5 of her 6 drives, but this year the link just wasn't long enough. And Sally D is the winner of the 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Championship for Women. Sally D made her way through the losers bracket to the winner's circle. Well, Art, another incredible show of strength by these women.
Those are the best names in the sport right there.
In 10 locations around North America, amateur long drivers came out in throngs to prove their might and mettle against the biggest hitters in the world in the Pinnacle Distance Challenge. At each stop, one hitter qualified to appear here in Mesquite, either by posting the longest amateur drive of the competition or by knocking off their professional counterparts, the men of the Pinnacle Distance team, the longest hitters in the world. As mentioned, the rains came earlier in the week at the Pinnacle Distance Challenge National Finals, where one contestant would have the shot at hitting for $1 million. San Diego qualifier Tim Segan led off the night and quickly showed why he's here. With a blast through the rain, Segan managed 335 yards.
Segan 335.
Though it didn't take long for Bobby Wilson to topple that mark, on his second swing he reached 369 yards.
Bobby Wilson, everybody. Bobby Wilson.
Long Island qualifier Bobby Breslin came to compete, and he ripped one of 309 yards.
You like worked on that one, son. All right.
Pinnacle Distance team member Dave Garekis, once a PDC challenger himself, failed to find the grid, giving Breslin the win and a payday from Pinnacle. Keith Falzarano won in Rochester, New York, and even though he liked his 5th ball, it managed only 279 yards. Eric Listoka toppled that mark on his first swing of the set.
Strong grip.
Nashville qualifier Robert Trotsky made sweet music with his second ball of 315 yards.
You know, great to also see Robert compete in the REMAX championship this week.
His competition was Brian Nash, who after coming up short 2 times, belted out a winning drive of 334 yards on his third ball. Bill Lang won $5,000 after defeating Jason Zubak in Rockford, Illinois, but only managed 274 yards here in the national finals. Mike Moulton didn't have much patience for the rain or paltry numbers such as that. He posted 310 yards. Next up was the PDC entry from Toronto, Riley LeBlanc. However, LeBlanc missed the grid with all 6 of his tries. And Dan Beaver just needed a 250-yard drive to win it, and he handled that with ease. Connor Payne, the qualifier from Albuquerque, New Mexico, took to the tee and hammered a towering blast that carried 309 yards. That was key because he took on my broadcast partner, Art Sellinger. And Art, he got the best of you here by a mere, this is not a game of inches, but a game of yards, by 2 yards.
He clipped me. My 16-0 record's gone, Roger. Look at that. I was generous.
Throw a blanket over it, huh?
That's right. Good for him.
Next up was Doug Uradil, who advanced here from the Des Moines, Iowa Challenge. Uradil managed 3 bills with his second drive. Bad news for Doug, though, is that he faced 4-time long drive champion Jason Zubak, who quickly took care of the Iowan. Shannon Begnell defeated Eric Listoka in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but couldn't find his groove here in Mesquite. His long ball measured 297 yards. Brian Pavlik took 1 swing, and that's all he needed. He sent it 346 yards. So by winning their respective matches, Bobby Breslin and Connor Payne each take home $10,000 from Pinnacle. But it's Agoura Hills, California resident Tim Segan who got to shoot for the Pinnacle icon and a whopping $1 million. He failed badly on his first attempt, so the folks at Pinnacle offered him a reprieve.
So I'm in a pretty good mood. So we're going to give him one more shot. What do you think?
Segan again didn't come close to the mark, but went home proud of his effort, hitting the longest ball of the challengers, 335 yards. And here are the results of the Pinnacle Distance Challenge National Finals.
The PDC was a great event, but now North America has a new exciting contest. The Pinnacle Exceptional Driver Championship begins this spring, an amateur-only event that seeks golfers that can hit the ball not only long, but straight. A $50,000 top prize and a new car await the champion. 128 grassroots qualifiers start this spring. Go to pinnaclegolf.com to find the one near you.
Well, and now the moment we've been waiting for. Let's meet the Open Division finalists.
Right here, our first competitor. We're going to introduce 6 competitors here from Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, Mr. Carl Wolter.
This man is all about carrying the ball down that grid.
Hitting second tonight from Huntersville, North Carolina, David Mobley.
The best golf swing of the bunch should be tough tonight.
From Overland Park, Kansas, Pat Maloney.
Wait till you see this swing right here.
From Gaylord, Michigan, Mr. Tim Hanley.
374 in the semis. Let's see if he can do it again.
From Huntington Beach, California, please welcome Jeff Farley.
Another player making his debut.
And our final competitor from Jackson, Michigan, please help me welcome Jeff Swihart.
Another one of the rookies, but a very good golf swing.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your 6 competitors looking for a $100,000 first place check.
When we return, it's the 2004 World Championship. Welcome back to Mesquite, Nevada. And first on the tee as we begin is Carl Wolter. And Art, no longer just a one-hit wonder, is he?
Oh, no, he has backed up that championship from 2002.
I'm Carl Wolter from Maloney, Pennsylvania. I'm the 2002 REMAX World Long Drive Champion, here to do it again for my little girl, my wife Shannon.
And the clock is running. He gets 6 swings over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And here's the first one.
The big one. First ball is left.
Down the left-hand side, trying to turn back in. But now starting to drift off to the left, and that's going to miss the grid.
Carl uses the Alpha driver with the Henley shaft 5 inches shorter than what he used in 2002.
So what's the big difference, Art?
Well, the big difference is he can control this length and he can hit it far with the shorter golf club.
Swing number 2, and that's well to the left. And it was on swing number 3, Art, that he hit that 374-yard blast to move him into the finals. Wolter, who won in 2002.
Roger, here's a look at that winning drive from 2 years ago. You know, the extension right here through impact, and he just knew it, Roger, right at impact. Unbelievable carry. We had never seen balls carry this far on this grid. And this was the largest margin of victory by more than 12 yards over Kevin Blankhorn.
Now his third swing. And there's the screen.
Good night, nurse. That's it, when he likes it.
And it is right down the middle. Carl Wolter let it go right near the 370 line.
What a huge shot.
369 yards for Carl Wolter.
Look at the swing here. This guy is a javelin champion, throws his whole body. I love the separation there at impact. Look at the straight left arm, and look at that right leg going to the target.
Swing number 5. And that's off to the right. So Wolter with one in.
Roger, I think he hit his ball.
Yeah.
I really do. I really think he hit his best ball tonight, and 369 is a number that might hold up.
Art, as we look at the virtual grid, what does it tell you?
Well, it tells you, he can fill up either side of the grid. He doesn't favor one side. So look at that setup. So far behind the ball. He imagines a fence in front of him to hoist it over.
And that is quickly to the left. So Carl Wolter, the 2002 champion, with a 369-yard drive on his third swing.
And I know he's happy with it. That is a big number to post that everybody has to look at.
Carl, you came in, you won a couple of years ago. Tell us what you're trying to do as the first hitter tonight. Right out of the box, you got great hitters behind you. What are you trying to do as the first hitter?
Not think about the great hitters. I'm just coming out here. I got some great people behind me. My parents are out here. My wife couldn't make it out. She's at home with the new baby, Maddie. So hopefully I just made my friends and family proud. And, REMAX has just put on a fantastic event here. You can see we got the stands just packed. And we got 5 great hitters coming up after me. And, I've just been battling all year. And hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Did you catch it?
It was okay.
True champion, Carl Wolter, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty strong out of the number 1 spot, 369 yards for Carl Wolter. Oh, there's no better way to take in Mesquite's warm, sunny days than hitting up any of their world-class golf courses. Wolf Creek at Paradise Canyon has fairways that twist and turn through the jagged landscape, and its choice of multiple tees makes it fun for all levels. All this combined with the challenge of tricky, undulating greens adds up to make Wolf Creek an experience to remember. And a quick trip down the road reveals the par 72 Casablanca golf course. Its lush 18 holes were etched out of the wetlands of the Mesquite Valley. With the Virgin River running through the course, every golfer gets to enjoy breathtaking views of water, mountains, and the desert sky. And the Palms Golf Club, with its 200 palm trees, is just one more of the many beautiful courses which are quickly making Mesquite a golf destination. Welcome back to the REMAX World Long Drive Championship. Simply put, an incredible purse at stake tonight, Art. $100,000 to the winner.
That was the initial purse in 1995 was $100, and it's a tribute to REMAX. It's a tribute to the great sponsors that support this sport.
Now let's meet our second competitor.
David Mobley, Charlotte, North Carolina. This is my third REMAX Long Drive final in a row, and I hope to finish a little better than last year.
David Mobley getting set for his first drive. One thing you know, he'll be consistent. He'll get some shots on the grid.
Yeah, great repeatable action, great balance.
But not that one.
Quick hook there.
Yep.
His mistake will be left, most likely.
Well, from Huntersville, North Carolina, Callaway club head with an AccuFlex shaft, 52 inches in length, ranked Art number 2 in the world.
This guy can just fill up the grid, Roger. I mean, just repeatable golf swing. He has played so much tournament golf in his career. He is not nervous at all.
Swing number 2 for David Mobley, heading down the right-hand side, and that is going to miss the grid.
And that's a good miss for him in the right side. That quick hook's his nemesis.
$100,000 to the winner. First time in this REMAX World Long Drive Championship history that you've gone 6 figures for the winner. A lot at stake here, and there's a good one right there by Mobley.
Those were the shots he hit in the semis.
Yep.
And again, look for about a 45-50 carry here.
Over 350, rolling up near 360, so nicely done there by David Mobley.
And Roger, as we look at the virtual grid here, notice all the golf balls in play for David are on the left half of the grid. That's his shot.
And Mobley has a lot of playing experience, Art. Would you say he's the best player of all the guys in the long drive business?
By far, because he's got some nationwide experience. He played some Hooters Tour, but he really turned the long drive about 4 years ago.
There it is. Up the right side. Does this have a chance?
He needs a hop.
Turning back in. Beautiful draw on that. Past 360.
Got the hop.
Past 370. Mobley takes it deep on swing number 4 as he goes 376.
Roger, take a look at this setup. I mean, you call the action on the PGA Tour. These lines mirror any player out there. And right there at the top of his backswing, perfect position, loaded on his right side, beautiful extension. Here comes the transition, great extension, perfect finish. He slowed down after those first 2 balls. He came out quick, hit him real fast, slowed down, got in his rhythm, and just hit a perfect golf shot.
Let's see what he can do on his last one. And that's a quick hook right there. But David Mobley, 376 yards to go right past Carl Wolter.
David, obviously a problem with being shy. Define baby doll I love you.
Oh, that's because it gets as sweet as it gets right there. When you hit it that good, it feels as good as anything you've ever felt, and you just know it.
This is on TV right here. Explain that feeling, though. We see a lot of balls that look the same. You obviously knew something was different about that hit right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, what it is you practice and practice and practice, and every now and then you hit those balls that you know that you just hit right in the screws. And, you know, when you can do it on the tee, when it counts, that's all you can ask for. That's what all the hard work's for.
Well, you've done it for many years. Congratulations, you're in the lead. Big hit. David Mobley, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, David Mobley, our new leader at 376 yards and 4 remaining when we return. The Arnold Palmer designed Oasis course offers rugged canyon fairways and contoured greens. And new for 2005 will be the addition of the Canyons 18, giving you 36 holes of unforgettable golf. Welcome back to Mesquite, Nevada and the REMAX World Long Drive Championship. Next on the tee is Pat Maloney.
And wait till you see this golf swing. You know, Pat this summer made a final in Rochester at our tour event.
My name's Pat Maloney, from Overland Park, Kansas. This is my first REMAX World Finals.
Now, Pat is a high launching player. You will see golf balls go well higher than David, so he's going to have to carry it the whole way.
First swing, and he hits that one pretty good. It's drifting off to the left. Will it stay on the grid? It doesn't look like it's going to be able to, but that was long. And our neighbor of mine, just a couple towns over in the Kansas City area from Overland Park, Kansas, Pat Maloney, Alpha Club head Harrison Shaft.
You know, it's his second full year in long drive. He came out a little on our tour this year and did really well. And again, up high.
There's
yes.
one. There is one right there. It's high and deep down the right-hand side, turning back toward the middle. And let's see what Pat Maloney's got right there past 350. So 353 for Pat Maloney.
Look at this unusual pre-shot routine. He hovers the club, swings it forward, and I love this for momentum. I love it for pace and tempo, and it gets things motoring forward.
Pretty good baseball player in college at Kansas State University. Maybe that's a little baseball move, huh?
It could be a Kansas thing. But look here at the top, you know, amazing how he can hoist that ball. And notice that's a very whippy shaft right there.
He got that thing deep, didn't he?
Yeah, very whippy shaft to kick that ball up.
First time in the finals for Pat Maloney.
And there's his just stock move right there, forward and pass. You know, that's his move for motion.
Good
that
tempo,
is so good
yeah.
for amateurs to get the club going. A great rehearsal drill.
So hitting it as high as he does, is he at an advantage or disadvantage with the conditions the way they are tonight?
If he absolutely flushes it, that's his ball flight. He has the advantage.
Now the virtual grid here, Art, what's it going to show us?
It's going to show you balls on the right side. When he hits them flush, they're not going to hook and turn over. That's a credit to the steepness of his golf swing. And again, wide setup right here, hover, and then boom. He hit that.
Yeah, down
he
the right side, turning back in. I mean, he's yelling at it to go.
That's past his other one.
Go? Oh, no, not enough.
Flew at 366.
Just stopped, didn't it?
Roger, I wish I could spin my wedge like that. Unbelievable backspin on this ball. Watch right here.
Well, it went backwards and not forwards, and Art, maybe under different conditions, it would have been Maloney's night.
Yeah, any kind of hop, that would have been past Mobley.
Well, the two veterans atop the leaderboard.
Yeah, number 1 and 2 in the world, and again, 3 down, 3 to go, Roger.
Well, time now to learn more about a product that can help any amateur.
I'm here with David Rankin, CEO, President of AccuSport. Welcome to the REMAX World Long Drive. Tell me about the Vector launch monitor, David.
Well, Art, we're real excited to be here, and the Vector has been a big part of your past year, I know, and Vector has been a great tool for fitting clubs and for instruction. And what it does is it measures all the parameters of the golf ball right as you hit it. The speed, the launch angles, the departure angle, and the spin rates, most importantly.
And that is important. I mean, I have one at my store back home. We do not let a person buy a driver without getting on the Vector. We brought it out this year on our tour, and I'm going to bring in Tom Salone here, one of our hitters. And in Tulsa on our tour this year, Tom, I saw you had a lot of combinations, and I saw you were looking for that right combination to get the ball out there the furthest. And tell me what it did for you.
All right, what I need to do is find out what club is giving me the best launch angle, spin ratio, ball speed, combination of all three, so I can really compete on a competitive level here at the LDA Tour.
So you actually showed up with different combinations, and you were maybe 201 miles an hour with one combination, and then if you're 205 with another, obviously that's the one we got to go with.
That's correct, yeah.
And that's so crucial, David, I know, when fitting, and it's kind of like, you know, if you go into a men's store, you got to get a suit that fits.
That's right. You know, if you want a suit that fits right, you got to go an extra mile to make sure that everything is just right. Exactly the same thing with the golf club. There's a lot of great golf clubs out there, but you got to get the right shaft, the right head, the right grip. Everything's got to be right so the club works for you and instead of against you.
Folks, if your game hasn't improved lately, you're not making progress with it, go out there, find a Vector launch monitor, work with it. You're going to find some extra yards on your drive.
If you would like more information on the Vector launch monitor, you can log on to their website. Tim Hanley is next on the tee with a chance to grab the championship and a cool $100,000. welcome back to Mesquite. Our fourth competitor in the finals, Tim Hanley.
Very strong guy. Look at the forearms in this guy, Roger. This guy is strong.
Tim Hanley from Gaylord, Michigan. This is my first year at the REMAX World Long Drive Finals.
Well, Tim Hanley, 370 in the semifinals on his fifth swing to make it to the finals.
And here's another player that just sets up way behind the golf ball. That is the common trait amongst long drivers.
And hits that one a mile high.
Yeah, that's a little bit skied there.
That is way up in the air.
This ball will check up for sure.
So Tim Hanley, first time in the finals, Art, 52-inch club length.
Yeah, that's the max we allow, measured straight up and down. If you put it on the USGA scale, you're probably looking at about 50 inches right there.
Here we go for number 2. And that one's going down the right, but awfully high again. I mean, my goodness, he hits the ball higher than anybody I've seen here today.
Yeah, that's spin making that ball go high, and that spin comes from hitting down on the ball, and we want to hit up on that ball so it doesn't spin.
Well, and look at, I mean, he got it out nearly at 350.
What I mean here, Roger, is look how far he is behind the golf ball. Again, if he can still work underneath it and hit it on the upswing, but right there at the top, a little too much weight has moved forward. He has not gotten the hips and the weight back on the right side. Then he kind of falls back into the shot, and again, that's imparting that backspin. So again, what he's trying to do, Roger, is get well behind the golf ball and keep that weight anchored on the right side.
Swing 4, and that is high again down the right-hand side. It's probably going to drift back into the grid. And it does, once again, just short of 350, almost the exact same spot where his second swing was. So 345. Well, Art, looking at that virtual grid, it shows you tonight he is down the right-hand side as opposed to semis when he was on the other side.
Yeah, you know what? He's got a golf swing that's a little more looser than the other players, so he could hit it on both sides of the grid.
And that is well to the right, so the best Tim Hanley can do is 347. So 2 more remaining here in the finals, trying to get that $100,000 top prize. And it's David Mobley sitting atop the leaderboard at 376 yards, and we'll see if it holds up when we return. Sally D won the women's division, while Bobby Wilson took the senior division title. And there is one more piece of crystal yet to be handed out. Our next hitter is Jeff Farley.
My name is Jeff Farley of Huntington Beach, California. This is my first appearance at the REMAX World Long Drive. Here to bring home the prize for all us Orange County people.
Art, you know, maybe the second best player of all the long drivers out here.
Yeah, Jeff plays a lot of golf in California. He's a product of long drive through the Pinnacle Distance Challenge, an amateur grassroots event last year.
First swing, and hits that well to the left and off the grid. Farley got to the finals with a 364-yard drive on his last swing of the semis.
You know, Jeff's a player that uses 2 golf clubs. He kind of starts out with the SMT, then he goes to the U.S. Tour there. Free spirit, always smiling. This guy's having the best time this week, letting it fly, Roger.
Down the right center of the grid. And let's see what Farley can do with it. And it just checks up at about 346. Well, Art, this guy is really a good all-around player, and you can see as we take a look at the virtual grid here.
Yeah, again, he's trying to get in his element. He's trying to play golf out there and just let it go like a big par 5 in a tournament.
One player left after Farley as he gets ready for swing number 4.
Yeah.
Beautiful drive right down the middle.
Now that's longer than his other one for sure, because that one didn't spin as much.
Let's see how he can do on this, and it's past 360.
365.
Ball 4, 300.
So 365 officially.
Take a look at this action right here. Again, his golf swing is built for the shorter club. But folks, watch this. Face that target, get the weight to the left side. He can hit it a foot further. I mean, he just needs adrenaline right there. He needs the crowd.
Well,
you got to get the adrenaline.
Farley turned to the crowd and said, come on, folks, give it up. Help me out here. I got one more to go.
Can he find 6 more miles an hour? That's the key.
See if he can find it. Jeff Farley, pretty good swing. He's chasing after it, turning over from right to left.
Needs a hop.
Now down the left-hand side past 350, and it's going to roll just to 359. So Farley's best, 365 on swing number 4.
That's a great set for the rookie right there.
Jeff, I have watched you hit it hard and have fun all week. What are you doing to do what you've done this week?
Well, before I get to that question, first of all, let me start off by thanking REMAX, Art Sellinger, and the LDA for doing this event. I'm going into a career in real estate, so I definitely appreciate you folks. Going for a job interview soon, hopefully. But anyways, I just...
Think you can find anybody?
Hopefully, Southern California, here I come. But no, honestly, it's a great event. It's a different gig than mini tour golf. Just let your emotions go and give it a good whirl out there.
Well, you've had a wonderful week. It's been fun watching you. Congratulations.
Great. Thank you very much.
Farley's drive of 365 yards places him currently in 4th, but it's David Mobley who still holds the lead.
What a great final. 4 guys within 12 yards tonight, Roger.
And one man, Jeff Swihart, stands between Mobley and the title. We'll see what he can do when we come back. The 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Championship is brought to you by REMAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Pinnacle, distance doesn't have to be hard. IBC Premium Sodas, IBC Bottles Memories.
Well, here he is, Jeff Swihart. Good golf swing here, good player. He's cool. He was up there with Zubak on the tee this week, so he is no stranger to pressure.
And in the 6th and final position, Swihart's first drive.
It's a good start.
Turning from right to left, but it looks like it's going to tail off the grid just past 350.
But a good start. He hit it solid. He covered it.
And another rookie, first time in the finals for Jeff Swihart, and another player using that Alpha club head.
That's 4 out of 6 tonight in the finals. It's a really good showing for them.
This down the right center.
Oh, good golf swing. Good golf swing right there. That ball's not spinning. Needs a hop.
Back to the left center of the grid.
3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5.
And Art on the virtual grid. Looks like you can see the left side here.
Yeah, Jeff turns the ball over, got a little forward press in that swing, and go ahead and he's a handsy player. Watch here on the bottom. He'll release that golf club. I like his setup. I love how far behind the ball he is. Hands are just a little forward pressed.
On swing number 4, sending that one down the middle.
He hit that ball real solid. That's higher. That will carry further.
A lot of height. Past 360. Boy, beautiful drive right there by Jeff Swihart.
Now that's the same yardage basically that, you know, Mobley flew it, but Mobley got a good hop. You know, Mobley might have flew a little bit further, but I mean, he can take it out there just as far as Mobley in the air. It's a matter if he can keep the spin down to get the hop.
Let's look at the swing, Art.
Another good golf swing of all the finalists tonight. Watch here with Jeff's backswing right here. Good deliberate move here, but again, the legs have really bowed up. Got a lot of left knee flex there, pointing to the ball, and the right leg's kind of giving way. We'd love to see him support that huge high arc. But what a phenomenal athlete. Look at the position he gets to at impact. Good extension. I love his balance.
Final drive for Swihart. And that is left, and David Mobley is your 2004 REMAX World Long Drive Champion.
Incredible performance, Roger. How he got the ball to hop is incredible. Great golf swing won the REMAX World Long Drive Championship tonight.
And Art, as we take a look at the final results, the two veterans atop the leaderboard, but some pretty good showing by the youngsters.
Yeah, they came in 1-2 in the world, Mobley and Wolter. But again, great competition. 12 yards separates the top 5.
Well, and perhaps the most noticeable aspect of this year's finals, Art, has been all the newcomers we've seen here in Mesquite. Where are all these long drivers coming from?
You know, they're finding out about REMAX World Long Drive, going to the longdrivers.com site, finding the qualification site nearest them, and that's how they're finding about REMAX Long Drive. You're one entry away from winning this thing.
And people can register online for an annual LDA membership?
Yeah, they can. Great benefits right there. Got a revamped